All right, this is a Fox News alert. We do have some very sad news to report tonight. Earlier today, police said that they found the body of 20-year-old missing University of Alabama student James Gracie in Barcelona. Moments ago, his family confirmed that in a statement. This devastating news comes after it was revealed that police in Barcelona located his phone after making an arrest. Here with more, the host of Crime Stories with Nancy Grace. Nancy Grace is with us. Okay, everything points to this being an accident, not a criminal act, according to the police there. I'm not the expert that you are, Nancy, but why do I think that statement is really premature?
I'm not calling it anything until I see a full and complete autopsy. And I'm not so sure that I'm going to abide by a Barcelona autopsy, no offense, because just because you are found in the water does not mean you drown. That is not necessarily the COD. I've got a lot of questions tonight. He was at a bar, a famous bar, one of the top ones in Spain, according to reports, Shoko. And he was there with friends. He's a Theta Chi, University, Alabama, a chaplain, I might add there, a voted chaplain, just 20 years old. And he went to go visit friends in Barcelona that were studying abroad. They all go out to this bar, very reminiscent of Natalie Holloway in Aruba. He gets separated for whatever reason from his friends. He is observed in the nightclub, Sean, speaking to an American girl described with brown hair. He leaves with an individual. It's caught on surveillance video. Nobody is telling me who is the individual with whom he left. Then suddenly his wallet is floating in the water. How did that get disattached from him? And his phone is on another individual, a male with a criminal history. And I'm supposed to believe this was an accident? No, I wouldn't put money on that, Sean. I want a full and complete autopsy. Too many questions. It was only 12 feet of water and he dies?
Here's my question. Should the family immediately hire an independent forensic person, somebody like Dr. Michael Baden, whoever it may be, to go over there and do the work for them, do the autopsy there?
Absolutely, before the body is moved. Now, of course, an independent autopsy can use the tissues, the fluids, the bloods taken from the original autopsy, but no. And worse is to rely on the records, the report from the original medical examiner. No, you have to do it yourself with no delay. So flying an expert over is the way to go.
All right, that's good advice for the family, and I know they're probably just devastated, as any family would be. All right, shifting gears, Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos is now facing a recall effort over his handling of the investigation into the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. I get asked about this pretty much every day by somebody. Nobody can put this together. Your thoughts?
Well, as you go to air tonight, Sean, there are 500 volunteers collecting signatures. 120,000 signatures are needed. And from the day this movement commenced, they have 120 days to get those 120,000 signatures. People have been watching Nanos, and apparently he's been spending more time at the gym hour-wise than he's spending at his desk trying to solve the disappearance of Nancy Guthrie. It's not a good look when he races out of his $850,000 home in his brand new Corvette to go to the gym. You know, when I tried cases, maybe I went overboard. Maybe I was too obsessed. I couldn't even eat dinner at night during a trial. I was so concerned about what was going to happen the next day in court. What is this man doing? Here's my chief concern, Sean, is if he is facing not only running his reality show, Desert Justice, when the sun goes down, the crime goes up, whatever, when he's not doing that, does his attention need to be divided by a recall effort? We need focus on Nancy Guthrie. The feds can't do it all for him.
Well, as you remember, and I told you first privately because I was asked not to discuss it publicly from a source, they weren't very inviting to federal agents, and that took some time. It basically forced the federal agents to force themselves into the case, which speaks volumes to me.
That's
Nancy,
certainly
great to
putting
see you.
perfume on the pig, Sean Hannity.
I think so. All right. Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey, click here to subscribe to Fox News YouTube page and catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You will not get it anywhere else.